We're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neil. I'm joined by Alan Maxson of all kinds of cool stuff we're going to be talking about. It's really cool to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I actually just now noticed, even though we've been talking for a while, the Godzilla poster behind you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you play creatures. You made some cool movies. So, first question, I guess, like, what was what's like the first memory of a movie you saw that you thought, like, not just this is cool, but this is something I would like to do someday?
See, I don't know if a lot of people in the industry have a like aha movie. I don't know if I have one particular movie that kind of was like, that's it. Just kind of like my personality and my interests and everything just slowly led to it from a very young age of performance, creativity, and just making things. But I guess maybe I can give you a cheat answer. Is I remember when the original Ninja Turtles movie came out, I really wanted a Jim Henson Ninja Turtles costume, and I was adamant that the Halloween store costumes were not good enough. I was like, these don't look like the movie. Of course, my parents were like, yes, they do.
You showed them, and then eventually, you were in ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you making like your costumes like at any point in time for Halloween, like yourself?
No, I've never been the person to make my own costumes. Um I'm trying to think of if there's
But you
ever
knew
any.
you wanted a cool one.
I wanted the cool ones. I wanted to bring them to life. I was never I'm not I don't build suits or do cosplay, anything like that. I don't think I have I don't have the chops to do what a lot of these artists do. That the suits I've worn are beautiful, and there's no way I would be able to build one of those.
Yeah. So when was that? When you first started doing like full on prosthetics? Did you have any issue? Was it hard to do? Like, did you feel claustrophobic, or did you have any issues like that?
No, I had one of the very first full body prosthetics. I had a great team. They did a life cast, which for anyone who's not familiar is where they cover your entire 360, chest up with plaster and bandages, and basically they're making a negative of your face to create a matrix mold and all that you know tech jargon to create basically a bust of you so that they can sculpt the prosthetic on it. So the first job I had that done, where I had a life cast done, it was a fantastic team, and they talked me through it. And they're like, hey, some people get claustrophobic, sometimes it's scary, it can get heavy, it can get hot, you'll be in here a while. And they just prepped me well, and then there was always someone checking in on me, making sure that I could breathe, and just like you know putting a hand on my back and be like, are you comfortable? And so like they really prepared me, and so I felt very grateful that that was my first experience. Because I have had some other ones where it's just loud, and it's you know run of the gun, and they just do it down and dirty, and I'm well aware what's happening, so like that doesn't bother me right now. But if that was my first one, it might have. I might have been like, "What is this? What's going on?" But my first one was such a great experience that it kind of set the bar for my awareness of what's happening.
So what was the first time you were like? What was the first time you were ever in any prosthetics?
In any, I don't know, in high school when I did musicals on stage. I was always like an old man, so I had to have like fake mustaches or makeup wrinkles and stuff. But in a movie, I believe someone might correct me on this, but I believe my first suit that I wore was in Thanksgiving 3.
Oh, nice. Well, that's very cool. First one to be in, yeah.
Yeah, because I was on set with Jordan and Kevin. We were filming in South Dakota, and I was editing for them. I was their on-set editor. And one day because Jordan wore the suit of the character of Muff, who was like this big guy with a cannon arm, and he had a worm and stuff. And there's one day where they just had so much going on. It was like an explosion, and all the actors, puppets, and we didn't have enough hands to do it all. So he was like, Alan, will you wear the suit for me? And so I got to be like his fill-in for that scene. And we exploded the door and I came through. And it was really fun because I've always wanted to get in the suit. And then after that, it was just a snowball effect after that.
Yeah, and then you were hooked. Yeah.
Exactly.
when the for any film, like when you first see yourself like in full costume, what's that feeling like? Does that like change how you think you're going to play the character?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because when you read the script or you talk to the director or even rehearsing it, there's always a vision of what is in my head of the performance. There's a vision of what's in the director's head of the performance. But then once you're in the suit, it can all go out the window. Sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of times it does just because of the way your body moves, the weight you're carrying, or your restrictions. If you have a big tail or big claws or big feet, you have to move in a way that those you don't trip on them, you don't hit walls with them, you don't knock over lamps, like you have to adjust your body for the size. It's almost like as you age, if you gain or lose weight, you kind of adjust how you shift when you walk, how you move. And it's kind of the same when you're in a monster costume or suit or prosthetics.
So Monster Island's on Shudder right now, and that's a super fun movie. It's like a classic man in monster suit movie, which I mean in a super positive way because I love those kind of movies. So how did that come about? How did you get involved in it?
Well, first I want to know who would say that and it isn't a good thing.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. Yeah. If anyone does, I probably won't listen to their taste in movies. Yeah.
Exactly. Your question, what'd you ask? How'd I get involved?
Yeah.
The guy who created the suit, Alan Holt, and his team, they I've been in circles with him and I've auditioned for him for different projects in the past, and it just seemed right. And he approached me and he was like, "Listen, I have this project. If you're interested, I would love to put you in front of the director." And that was kind of how it went.
Now I had Mike on the show, the director, and super nice guy. And
Yeah,
so, what
Mike.
was he like? What was he? Yeah, and he spoke highly of you, and he really loved Alan. So, I assume he was a cool guy to work for.
He was fantastic. He had a great vision. And he was a great captain. Like, just when you're on set, there's so much happening, especially when you are the director. You have so many things you're juggling, and he was a great captain for setting that precedent. And the movie had a lot of things. What is this? King of the Monsters is a fave. What is it?
Yeah,
People can comment.
yeah.
Wow.
So Shannon here, King of the Monsters is his favorite American Big G movie. Very cool.
Well, thank you, Shannon. I feel like I just time traveled and like people can comment live. I just came straight out of 1999. I don't remember what I was saying. Yeah, Mike was great. Oh, yeah, on set it was very there's a lot of difficulties because it was hot. We're in the jungle. There's a lot of physical restrictions and things that can get in the way. And he was just fantastic of managing it all and directing us and telling us what he wants and how to go about it. And he definitely knew how to direct a man in a suit. So it was great. We had a great time, and honestly, it was one of the funnest shoots I've ever had. I would do it again in a heartbeat if he called.
So, could you see very well in the costume? And there's like a lot of fight scenes.
It depends. For the most part, no. There was not a lot of vision. It was a lot of muscle memory. Because you mentioned the fight scenes, those were all choreographed, and we went through them quite a bit because some of them were on water, some of them were on land, some of them were like, I think we're like jumping off of like an airplane into the water, and like the suit, it was a little slippery on the wet spots, and so we had to really choreograph the whole thing out. And it was just muscle memory because I could see little holes, but sometimes depending on sweat dripping or like a lot of it was a night shoot. So it's like I have little holes to look out of and it's just darkness. But there'd be times where when I would need to kind of get my first position and I could do muscle memory to all the other spots after, I would just, radio to Alan Holt and be like, "Hey, can you open the mouth for me?" And he had a remote control mouth, and he'd go, and I'd look around to see kind of my surroundings, and I'd get my footing, and then I go, "Cool, ready," and and we roll. So,
When it would get wet, would the suit get heavier then?
oh yeah, it was like a sponge. Yeah.
I would assume so. And since you could, so you can't see grade. What's it like to do the fight scenes?
I had a blast. It was so much fun because um, both Dean and Callum are so talented, and uh, doing scenes with them was just it was like a violent dance, you know. And Dean with his martial arts with the swords and everything, he was so good. It was fun. That's all I can say. I don't know how else to describe it other than we had a great time, and every time it was done, I was like, I wish we could do more.
Yeah, yeah. Did you get to see it with an audience like at any of the festivals?
Unfortunately, no. I think all the festivals were, I believe one was in Tokyo, and there was another one in a different country. I don't recall where the other two were, but there weren't any local for us.
Yeah, that's too bad because I think it would be a really fun movie to watch with an audience.
I think so too. Yeah. No, but I watched it with my wife and my cats, so it was great.
Yeah, and you're in it a lot because sometimes the monsters like they did a really good job because like they do hint at your character at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then after a while, like you really see you a lot.
Yeah. No, I've said this to many people is even if I was not in this movie, I'd be a fan. This is the type of movie I've always wanted to watch, and so I love it. I was a fanboy of the thing, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. So, what would be some of your favorite monster movies, or even just monsters themselves?
Yeah, I love all kinds of monster movies. I love, if we want to go on the path of things like Monster Island, Enemy Mine, which is very similar, is a huge favorite of mine. My film Alien Planet is also in the same vein as those two movies.
Yeah, I even noted down because we got Alien Planet here, and this is super fun, and not just you hear. There are no humans in this movie. It's everyone's a creature, very Star Trek, your Next Generation like, and then I was watching your not commentary, but you have an interview, and I'm a huge fan of Enemy Mine as well. I used to have the VHS tape, and I noticed right away. I thought Monster Island was a similar idea. And so
Yep.
I was really happy to see that you talked highly about Enemy Mine on the interview.
Absolutely. I love those movies. I love monster movies that have social commentary, like Alien Nation,
Yeah.
the series. All those are so great, especially now, with what's going on in our country. It's like all these things are so prevalent still, which is sad. But it's like I just love the social commentary aspect because it forces us to see what's happening. Unfortunately, it kind of goes over some people's heads because they're looking at aliens.
Right.
Not connecting the dots, but like the whole point of it's just like Twilight Zone. Rod Serling was such a pioneer for showing us this is actually you guys, but I'm showing you something different as a disguise. I love those kind of films, but then I also love like fun movies, Tremors, Gremlins, Freddy Krueger, Chucky. They're fun. Like if I have fun during a movie, I like it.
Yeah. There was both Star Trek and Twilight Zone, like, they at that time they weren't really allowed to like just talk about things. So they, that's how those shows were born, out of like how to talk about social commentary, but we'll hide it, within a science fiction genre.
Yep. And it's funny that it worked because it's like so obvious, but it's like I guess they just didn't they didn't care. They're like, sure, it's about aliens.
Yeah, they don't even notice. Like, whatever. Like you can't have a white and a black person on TV, but she's green, she's an alien, so it's fine.
Yep.
Tremors is I sometimes I think it's underrated, but I think it's got a pretty big following now. I always thought Tremors was a really fun movie.
When I was really young, I used to say Kevin Bacon was my favorite actor.
But
it was the only movie I ever saw him in when I was young. So like I had no concept of like anything else he'd been in. I was just like, Tremors is amazing, so he's the best actor.
So let's go to Alien Planet, which I was gonna put up here, but I think it's easier if I just showed here. Super fun, and I would think like because you basically make everything in the movie, or everything is made in the movie. Like everyone's a creature. All the sets are there's stuff in the desert, but lots of spaceships and stuff. So when you're like writing this, does anyone tell you like you need to tone this down because it's like I think it's a pretty big like undergoing to make an indie film with so much stuff going on.
I told myself that. Yeah.
Right.
Because, my original version of the script was, I'd have to look back, but at this point, I believe it was like roughly 20 pages longer. But once I raised the money and got the funding for it, I basically went through and did a script breakdown to see how many days I could shoot. And simple math made the decision for me. And I was like, oh, I got to cut some pages. So I did have to tone stuff down and change. And when you're looking at, practical effects, you have to put into the days, you have to consider the time it takes to do certain gags. And so there's certain things that I changed or toned down because I go, this is going to just take like 3 hours to set up and do. And I can't afford 3 hours for one shot when I only have 12 days to shoot the whole thing. So it came down to simple math to decide. But yeah, I had to tell myself that I had a bigger script with grander things happening. But, you gotta make changes if you want to make the movie.
No, it came out super fun.
Thank you.
And so writing and directing, was that something you always wanted to do as well? Or like when did that like idea come about?
Yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do since I went to college. But then I did kind of get, sidetracked with life and careers and stuff. And I went back to revisit the writing and directing around 2014-ish, I think. And just started doing what I could there. And I've done 3 films, maybe. I think I've done another. Oh, and I also did a short film that was a segment in an anthology. And then I'm currently writing another script right now. So I'm just
Cool.
continuing the snowball of writing, directing, and upping the ante each time.
Yeah. So I noticed I'm sorry, but I didn't have time to see this, but I'm going to have you back and we'll talk about, is it Anita's?
Panita.
Oh, there's a P in there. Oh, yeah. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? When it's backwards there, I see the A first. So now you play like one of the main people in this one. And then I noticed in Alien Planet, like you do voice, but you're not like on set. Was it hard to direct the movie and also, be one of the main characters?
So in Patina, I was the main character. I played Patina. And that was hard because makeups like that, they take 3 to 4 hours to get in and 2 hours to get out. That's half your shooting day. So as the director, being gone half the day is not a good thing. I learned that on Patina, but Patina, it's a short film. It's only 10 minutes long, and we shot for 2 days. So it was manageable, but I knew on a feature, especially on Alien Planet, because it's such a, as you said, it's kind of a grand movie. There's a lot, like it's a big vision for such a small budget. And I knew that if I was gone half the day in the makeup chair, it would be I would fail. I would fail my crew. I'd be wasting people's time. It would just be such a detriment to the production. So I opted to just do voiceover for Guy after the fact. And I actually am grateful because I think all of my actors were better choices than I would have been for any of them. And I had a lot of fun voicing Guy, and it was kind of like voicing a critter or a Krite from Critter. So like I had a blast. So I'm grateful with the decision, but it was decided based on a technical decision. Like I think it would have been a very bad choice to stretch myself thin on set.
Alien Planet, kind of the both sides of the things you like, because you have a lot of commentary in their social like things, but it's also really fun to watch with all the aliens. And not to spoil the movie, I'm a big fan of any time in a movie when people are fighting with like inanimate objects. I just and which may be a big part of Arbor Day. Which and so I even thought like, oh, this is like future Arbor Day, the end of the movie. But so yeah, yeah. How just fun is that when you're filming? You know, you're fighting with like a big tree. That's to me, that's very fun for me to watch.
Yeah, no, I think on Alien Planet, not only did I obviously had fun because when it's your baby, you have director goggles and you're like,
Mhm.
this is the greatest thing. Everyone
Yeah,
else might be like, it's not, but you're having a good time.
yeah,
But I genuinely felt everybody had a great time. And afterwards, I've had people in private tell me such experiences that they had on it, and it's because of all the practical effects, because we had all the blood, and like you said, not only does it have social commentary, but it's super fun. Like we have a lot of very over the top blood, like it's blood that you would see in like the Renfield movie, like it's just
yeah,
more
yeah.
than necessary. And then they're fighting other things like puppets and monsters, and so it's just like getting to do that on set. Everyone was just laughing in between takes and having a great time. So I think having those things to play with in person, just it made everybody's mood just go right up because it's so, yeah, how can you not enjoy that?
Yeah. And did you do like a screening for Alien Planet? Like I bet that was a really good time to watch with everybody.
You know what? The first time during the actual premiere, um, I was nervous because I was like, "Oh,
Right, right.
what are people gonna think?"
Yeah.
But then, the screenings afterwards, because I did a film festival circuit, all the
Mhm.
screenings afterwards, I had fun because I just sat in the back and I was like, "Let's just enjoy." And I did notice other people laughing at certain stuff, like during the premiere, the first time that you see a giant gush of blood, when the prefect is wounded,
Mhm.
everybody in the audience, like you could tell their tone changed. Like I think the audience at first thought this is a very serious movie, but then once they saw that over the top blood, they're like, okay, we're allowed to have fun.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
can feel it change a little. And so it was cool to witness that.
And I have the pin. What is the name of the character? I
Guy,
love it. Yeah, he's amazing. Do you have him? Did you get to keep him? Or?
yeah, I have Gyrie here. She is mounted on my wall in my office.
And Shannon's happy that you know critters. So
Oh,
oh,
Shannon
knows
Critter.
they're krites. Yes, all right. Yeah.
Oh, they well, funny thing, I think this had to have been college because I didn't have any film stuff in high school, but in college we had to make a sort of PSA. And I think we were using for this class because this was before digital kind of took over. I think I graduated and then it was like immediately like film was dead. So it was kind of like we learned for nothing basically. What we were shooting on, I think it was 35 millimeter, and we made these PSAs. And the actor that we hired for my PSA somehow looked just like the town drunk Charlie from the Critters franchise.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, after we did the assignment for class, which was supposed to be like a serious PSA, I went and redubbed it, and we and we created lines that were like about the Krites and Charlie and yeah, love critters. I don't know why I went on a rant because it's because we talk about Krites in it. I guess rant came from.
Yeah, I love it. So Godzilla, King of all monsters there behind you. I mean, I would assume for anybody who likes movies at all, especially a monster guy, to play a monster in a Godzilla movie has to be an amazing experience in your life.
Yeah, that was career changing for me because it's such a big beloved franchise. We had fun on set. It was just a great time. I mean, most people who at this point the movie came out 6 years ago. I think most people are aware, but we had three actors and we are all tied together to play each of the heads of Ghidorah, and we just had a blast. It was we clicked immediately and we just had fun and what we did was they had previs of all the fight scenes that they wanted. And so we would watch it. Um, TJ, the actor who played Godzilla, and then Richard Jason I, who played Ghidorah, we would just walk out the choreographed scene, go through it a couple times. Mike, the director, would give thumbs up, and we'd roll. And he'd make adjustments, and we'd roll again. And it was awesome because every fight scene that you see on screen, anytime that Ghidorah's not flying, we did it for real in the mocap volume.
What's that? Had you did motion cap before, and just what is that experience like on any project doing the motion capture?
Yeah, I've done a little mocap. I mainly play a lot of practical monsters, but I've done mocap for Rise of Skywalker, the red carpet premiere for when the movie came out, for Godzilla, for a couple other indie projects. There's also something in Vegas. It's like if you go to Jesus, what's it called? Like Dopamine or something. It's like some VR thing, and there's like a rabbit guy. I play like a rabbit guy. Googieman. I forget what the franchise is called, but you can go and do like this interactive thing, and that's my performance of the big rabbit guy talking. So I've done a few mocaps, but I would say 90% of my jobs I'm in a practical suit or makeup for my characters.
And the movie, that movie's amazing. It's especially because I saw it in IMAX, and that really was a movie that makes a big difference watching it at home or watching it on the big giant screen.
Yeah, I really liked King of the Monsters. I thought it was very well done, and Michael knows that franchise very well. You could tell when we were on set too. He's a fan, and that's why I think a lot of people were pleased with the movies because he knew what he wanted is what also the other fans would want too. And so, but this franchise seems to be going strong. There's a TV series, there's still movies being made. So,
yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, and shout Michael, my friends Michael and Sophia in LA. Their dogs passed away, but they had a dog. Then they named it King Ghidorah.
Oh, I am sorry for your loss. Any fur baby going is bad, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but I'm also happy that his name was Ghidorah.
Yeah, I agree. Do you ever talk to the other heads? Was it like a bonding experience?
Yes, we are all now lifelong friends. Richard, who was the left head, I knew him previously because he teaches at the mocap vaults, which if anybody is interested in learning motion capture, that's a fantastic school. It's probably the best school you can go to for learning motion capture. And so I was familiar with him. I'd taken classes with him. I think I've auditioned before for him. And so I had this rapport with him already, but we just clicked after that. And then Jason, I met him for the first time. He played the center head. I met him on set. No, I take it back. We met the day before we filmed. They had us at the Legendary Studios to watch the entire movie.
Oh, sweet.
Before we filmed. So the three of us sat in this theater and watched the whole movie an entire year before everyone else saw it, with previs of what they wanted us to do so we could have an idea, which I thought was fantastic because it was so helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But then after the movie came out, we did like a convention circuit. We went to different states and different conventions. And so we really bonded because we travel and get hotels and just have fun. So we're like brothers now.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about the short that's part of an anthology. Is that Transformation?
No, Transformation. So Transformation is a 1-minute short film. If anybody wants to watch it, it's on YouTube. If you Google Alan Maxson Transformation, I'm sure it'll pop up. But my wife bought me a Super 8mm camera for $15. She's like, I found this at the store.
Yeah.
We didn't know if it worked. So we're like, well, let's try it. Let's make a short film. And because film's a little expensive, we're like, let's just see what we can shoot with one.
Yeah.
We only have to buy one and only have to develop one.
Right.
And so I was like, what can we do in 1 minute? Because one cartridge only holds 3 minutes. And I was like, with editing, after you edit, it's only going to be a minute long.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can we do that short? I was like, let's do a werewolf transformation. And so we shot it. We went and we had some fake rain and lightning and smoke, and it was a lot of fun. It was just basically an experiment, is all it was. Um, but it's a
Yeah,
fun.
that sounds sweet. I need to find this. I'm a huge werewolf. What's your favorite werewolf transformation?
Oh, it's the same one that everyone says.
Oh
American
yeah,
Werewolf.
gotta be that.
Anyone who says otherwise is just lying to be
I
different.
agree. I agree. It's fun. That's my favorite werewolf movie and the favorite transformation. But oddly enough, I don't think it's the best werewolf. 'Cause I'm not really a big fan of the werewolf with the 4 legs, but, that's, like, the only negative to me in the whole movie is I'm not a huge fan of the actual werewolf.
I do like bipedal werewolves because
Yeah.
they're more terrifying because a wolf is it's more just like, well, we know what a wolf is.
Mhm.
Uh, like Rick Baker's Wolfman was phenomenal. That thing was
Yeah.
so good. Um, there's a lot of great werewolves. I love werewolves, but if you like werewolves, and also if you, I'm assuming based on your favorites that you love film grain
Yeah,
and
yeah.
transformation. Because we shot it on Super.
Yeah.
It is grainy as hell, and we transferred it in 6K, and so it's like, Super 8 is not 6K quality. So
Right,
what
yeah.
what became the sharpest element was all the grain and hairs on it, and it just looks dirty and filthy, and I love it.
Nice. Would you ever do something more with that? Like, would you try to do, like, like, an actual short film or an actual movie on
Oh,
Super 8?
love to. The only issue is it's like it's so costly. It's
Mhm.
you know the cost of the film by itself is the cost of some people's entire budgets,
Yeah.
especially if you work on an independent level. So I would love to, but it's just a matter of it would have to be the right situation and the right money.
I was in a movie shot on 16 millimeter, and I remember just seeing the stacks of the film, and it did make me like, I thought, I'll have to make sure I don't mess any line because I would have just felt so guilty, like to waste any. Which I've talked to other people shot in 16 millimeter, and they say like it's a good thing and a bad thing because then you do prepare and you don't waste as much time. Because you it's gonna cost you a lot more money if you're wasting a lot of time.
Yep. Especially on an independent level. Like if you're a big
Yeah, yeah.
studio, like I think Gareth Edwards shot the new Jurassic World on film, and it's like, well, yeah, but it's Universal, so they have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
no.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Yeah, hundreds of millions is different than, tens of thousands.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even when people say, independent, it's even that's a broad term because it could be like a $10 million movie or, a $10,000 movie. There's a huge difference between those 2.
Yes. Yep. I think just independent just means not one of the major studios.
Yeah, yeah. So I you did crowdfunding for Alien Planet. What was that experience like? Because some people, have great experiences, some people, don't.
I think it was the hardest part of making the movie. Um, yeah, it was just very exhausting, and it took a lot of effort. But you also learn that so many people have your back, because I was shocked at how many people just came out of the woodworks and said, "I support you. Here's some cash. Make a great movie. I can't wait to watch it." Like it just showed how many very supportive, great people are out there want to see what you can do.
Yeah.
And so it was hard, it was exhausting, but I think it shed light on a lot of people that I will never not be grateful for.
And I was thinking like, it is a cool thing that exists today because like if you grew up watching, I don't know, anybody, John Carpenter, whoever, like who wouldn't have given like even $5 to like have their name in the credits of the movie. Plus just knowing like, oh, I'm gonna help this person, make another movie.
Yes. When I think too, there's an aspect of it of, because I had a lot of people I've never met before donate to the film. And I think that is because they saw my spec trailer and they liked what they saw, and they're like, I actually want to see this movie. I invested in myself, and I took some money, and I wrote a script for the trailer, and then I shot in 12 hours. We did one day, 12 hours, and we shot the spec trailer. and we made it look as good as we can on a bare bones budget. And that was kind of my showcase. We like, if you like this, we did this for basically nothing. Imagine what the actual film could be if you guys help. And the people that I know personally, I'm sure they were also interested, but that was more of a personal, like, oh, I'm very touched. Thank you for your support. But the strangers that came out, and I would say, I bet you half the backers I've never met in my entire life. I think a lot of them were potentially just excited to see. They're like, this looks fun. I want to see this come to life. And that's the cool power of, like you said, of having crowdfunding nowadays, is there are projects that can get made that couldn't have before.
Yeah, just wouldn't exist otherwise. Yeah.
Because filmmaking is the most expensive art. Like, there is no other art that is as expensive as making a movie. And I think it's unfortunate because it means not everybody can do it, but it also means that in modern day, because of things like that, we can open the floodgates a little bit more, see what people's creativity does.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really creative people out there, and it's fun to watch stuff. Obviously,
absolutely. Are you going to be crowdfunding Arbor Day?
Yes, yeah. We're going to start that at the beginning of the year, so it's awesome. Just for tax reasons. So the crowdfunding is the same year as we make the movie.
Awesome.
Otherwise, you have to like defer the payments or what, the taxes or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, I get nervous about it. I've been part of a couple of successful campaigns, of movies I've been part of. So, but this time it's one that I wrote. So it is a nervous feeling.
Yeah, but I think people, everybody likes you, at least from what I can tell.
I've been very happy. People have been very supportive already. I've had some people donate to my puppet fund because I was making the puppets before. We start the crowdfunding.
I think you're going to do well. People want to see this movie, especially when you show off some of the stuff that you were showing me before we started this conversation. Like, you have some really cool things.
Yeah, it's another. So I did make like a silly trailer with me, my brother, and a couple of friends, but this was before other people's involved. And I've taken that down since because other people are involved. And my friend AJ wants to come out and shoot like sort of what you're saying, like a trailer that would kind of give the idea of what we want to make.
Yeah.
So that's great. I'm excited about it.
It'll be great.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. So can you say anything about the script that you're writing currently?
Not at the moment because it's too early. But I'm very excited for it. I'm just excited to continue going. I think my initial goal is, if you look at my first film, Christmas with Cookie, it's a terrible B movie. It's worse than Troma's worst movie. But it's, we made it for $1,000, and I was like, I just need to make a film and see it. And then I made Patina, which had a bigger budget, but it was a short film, so we could put more money towards every bit of it. And then Alien Planet upped the ante even more, and that's my goals. I want every film that I write and direct, I want to be better than the next and higher quality than the next. So that's what I can tell you, I guess, is I'm aiming to go bigger than Alien Planet.
Yeah, and would you ever do it more in that world of Alien Planet? Like, I don't know, even like a web series or a regular series?
I have a handful of things written and prepped, ready for it. I think it would require a very particular circumstance to do more Alien Planet, just because the fact that there's no humans, all those
you have to make many characters. Yeah.
It's so costly, and I was very grateful to get the team I had on that film. But to do it on a grander, bigger scale, I think it would need either extensive indie backing, or it would need an actual studio funding, because it's such a huge world. And I have I think 4 other additional ideas that I could do in that world. Yeah. So I would love to revisit. I would love to make it like Star Trek and, franchise it, but it's just a big question mark. Who knows what the future holds. So
yeah. I've had people just tell me that with series though, because with all the different platforms, they always are looking. I always hate the word content, but that they do look for other content. So maybe that would maybe that could come about sometime. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. Maybe one day we'll be talking about Alien Planet, the series.
Yeah. And it's very, very fun. I'm a big fan of the original Star Trek and Star Trek Next Generation. Maybe the other ones. You know what? I have not watched all the other series. Really need to watch Deep Space Nine. Is that your favorite?
I love all. It's got Quark. Oh, it's so good.
I need to just binge watch it because I binge watched the original Star Trek. It was funny. I was probably in my 20s, and my brother was always a fan. He's older than me, and I was like, oh, I don't want to watch that. That's stupid. And it was before the internet. I guess it was around, but it was before like you could just go find them. And they were showing them all in order on Sci-Fi Channel, and my brother's like, we're gonna watch all these. I was like, okay, whatever. And so I got hooked though right away. I was like, oh yeah, these are awesome. And then Next Generation was the first like show that I binge watched. I bought like the box set on eBay, and I watched the whole thing. I was like, oh, this show is like awesome. So.
It is. I was a little late to the Trek field.
Yeah, I got late to both of them. So
yeah, my first step was I was the editor on the 50 Years of Star Trek, which is a documentary that was on History Channel.
Mm-hmm.
We covered all of the Star Trek through, at the time, what was current was, I think the most recent ones were the J.J. Abrams films. Were brand new.
I like those, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't think there's a Trek I don't like. I'm a huge Strange New Worlds fan. I love the new show.
My idea was to watch every series, and then I think there's a lot of series for me to catch up on. I might give in and watch the news that, and I really would like to see Picard too, since I've seen all Next Generation.
I think Strange New Worlds would be easy for you because it's before the original
right.
series.
Yeah, it's about the what's his name? Piker, right?
Yeah, so you know the original series, so it's like it's an easy one to jump into.
Mm-hmm.
But I did this documentary. I was one of the editors for it, and it was like a crash course because we interviewed everybody. Had Leonard Nimoy's last interview.
Oh wow!
And we used footage from. We had all the series on a shelf, and we're just ripping footage for B-roll, and so it was kind of my crash course. And then after that, I was like, I kind of want to watch these. So since then I've binged and I've watched every episode of every series.
All right, yeah, okay. I need to get back to Deep Space Nine. I think I watched a few of them, but
Deep Space Nine, it's so good. It's so good.
The more I think about it, yeah, because I know it is true. I think the even number movies are the best, but it's not like I dislike the other movies either. So.
I don't know if I could even. Wow, that's a bold statement. The even numbered ones are better.
Yeah, so you got two. Two's probably the best one, Wrath of Khan. And then 4 is when they go and save the whales. And then 6, I forget what happens. Oh, 6 is a really good one too. I remember, but there's always been a thing that the even ones are the best of them.
They're all good in their own ways. I love the Undiscovered Country. That one's really good.
Yeah, I think that's 6. Or is that the one where it's sort of like they find God, sort of? Not really, but
no, it's the political ones where like the Klingons are.
Yeah, that's 6. Yeah, that it's the even ones. 2, 4, 6 is are like the really standout one. But I like all of them too. Search for Spock's fine, but it's not the same as Wrath of Khan. So that's not. It's hard to beat Wrath of Khan.
Those traumatized all of us as a kid.
Yeah. I still think about that. If I even think there's something in my ear, like if you get a little itch in your ears, like you don't want like a space worm crawling in your ear.
Because we also had, I grew up in Michigan, and they had the little, those little ear worm things where they have the pinchers on their butts.
Yeah. I had those too.
All I ever thought of was Con when I saw those. And
I always wondered, why are they named that? Do they actually get in your ear? Like when I was a kid, I thought they did get in your ear. That's why they were named that. Maybe they are. I don't know. I've never heard of anyone getting one in their ear though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like if you laid in their nest, they'd probably crawl in, I guess.
Yeah, someone needs to make that movie, the earworm movie.
Are they ear. What are they called? They're like ear. It's not earworms.
No, but it's something like what is I forget, but I always wonder when I was a kid, I just assumed they got in your ear.
Yeah. All right, comments, guys. I want to see another comment pop up with the name
Yeah.
of those earworm things or whatever.
Yeah, and I appreciate wherever you're watching, but I can't see the comments on all the sites, so YouTube is the best place for me to see your comments. And if you listen to this later, you can send it in, and I'll let Alan know.
Yeah, he'll text me and tell me what it is.
Yeah. So I saw you worked in some full moon. Were they the full moon ones? I know they're like because some of the Puppetmaster movies, I guess, aren't full moon movies. Was it a full moon?
Yeah, those are full moon. Yep. That was awesome. I'm a very big Puppetmaster fan.
I am too.
Since I was a young kid, it's one of the first things I ever watched on TV.
Go drill here, even though he's not necessarily my favorite, but he is cool.
He is cool. Yeah. So yeah, one day I got a call from John Lachago, and he was like, "Hey, I was talking to Tom Devlin, who did the puppets for those films, for the ones that I was associated with," and he's like, "And we thought you'd be a great person to get in a suit to play Blade." And I was like, "You want me to play Blade?" I was like, "Hell yeah." 10-year-old Alan, who was watching this on Sci-Fi Channel, would be stoked. So, of course I said yes, but basically they were like, any shot that it's running or jumping or slashing, anything with heavy movement that is like a little bit more difficult for a puppet, they wanted to do with a full-size costume. So they put me in the suit and I looked exactly like the puppet, and they put me on a green screen, and then the DP went up on a ladder way above me and shot down, so it looked like perspective of the POV of human, and that's how we filmed it. And it was a lot of fun. It was great to bring to life, one of the Puppetmaster guys.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I didn't even realize there were any that any of the puppets were done that way. So and that's like the king of all the puppets, I believe. So
It's always that meme that I love seeing around the holidays when they're like, kids these days have Elf on a Shelf. These are our puppets. And it always shows like Toulon's trunk.
Do your parents watch your movies? Because I assume they know you were a big movie kid growing up.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think, yeah, especially the big ones. I've been a part of many productions. When it's something big, notable, they tune in. Like the Oscars, they tuned in. Godzilla was big. Monster Island, the ones that are that get a lot of publicity, they tune in on. I don't think they've ever seen Puppetmaster. That one, I don't know if they would sit through to support me.
Yeah. Puppetmaster's not for everybody, but
No.
for people that it's for, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
My mom's different. That's why I was watching horror movies with my mom when I was a little kid.
Nice. Yeah, we watched it because I think we were just left alone or something. So we were, like, boop.
I remember because I would rent. I think I'm a little older, so I'd rent the VHS, and whenever I put the movie in, and I would see it was a full moon movie, I'd get excited. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be good."
Yeah, full moon was always great when we were kids because it had puppets and it was wacky, and especially if it was on TV, it was always edited for TV, so it was fine for us to watch when we were children.
Yeah, and Charles Band, I think, must really he has a thing for little creatures because there's so many small monsters in all his movies.
Yeah, Charlie always prefers puppets for sure.
I think maybe because he thinks he can sell them.
Merchandise.
Exactly.
It's like the Schwartz is with you.
His book's very entertaining if you've never read his book.
Oh, I haven't. Is it good?
Yeah, it's very good because he's very honest, and he's had some huge ups. He bought a castle when he was really doing well, and then he lost everything and was very open about that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's super nice. I've met him on almost every film I've worked on. He's always involved. He's always on set, even if he's not directing it. So yeah, he's always been very kind.
Yeah, I've had him on the show like a bunch of times, but I never met him. But he's always really nice on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him
But
and Brooke.
I mentioned this last time he's on because I remember one of the early times we had him on. He was like super, like not, it's like a very like he was just very nihilist. Like everything was like the whole world was going to hell. And then after I read his book, I was like, I think this was like the time period you had him on, and we talked about.
Life can
But
be
yeah,
tough sometimes.
mm-hmm. But yeah, he's a good dude. And so where can people follow you to see what you're up to?
Yeah. So if you want to follow um my stuff, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. If you go to Christmas with Cookie is so fun, Rob.
There we go, Rob. See, we got a fan here.
We also got a shout out for Rob has a movie called Shark Squatch coming out soon.
Oh, yes. I need to. Is he the director?
Yes.
All right, yeah. I need to get him back on because Shark Squatch. Yes.
It looks fun. I'm excited. Keep it
Yeah.
up, Rob. I don't remember where you can find me. Instagram.
Yeah. Robin and Greg Delisio, Shark Squatch. Yeah.
Shark Squatch. Yeah. I'm on Instagram. That's it. Facebook, you can find me too. I guess Threads, but I guess isn't Threads kind of the same as Instagram?
Yeah, I think when I post to Instagram, it just tells me it's also posted to Threads.
But Monster Maxson, or if you look for Alan Maxson, it's the only thing.
All right.
And if you want to watch Alien Planet,
yeah,
you can go to alienplanetfilm.com and there's links. But also you can buy the Blu-ray on Amazon. You can stream it on Amazon, Apple, Tubi, YouTube. And I don't know if it's upgraded yet, but I believe the distributor is currently upgrading it so it can be streamed 4K. Because we shot it in 4K, but it was originally only delivered in 1080. So now they're finally upgrading their systems. A little late, but they're doing it finally.
Yeah. And it's super fun. I'd really recommend it for like Star Trek fans, that kind of thing. And also get the Blu-ray because I'm a big fan of extras, and I watch your interview on there, and I like that a lot. And it's cool to see like you've got like the spaceship over your head, like showing like I like that. I've had a lot of people on the show who didn't go to film school, and a lot of them their film school were watching extras on Blu-rays and listening to commentary tracks.
100%. Yep. And you mentioned the spaceship. It's great because the spaceship we actually built it. A lot of people these days will do a completely CG spaceship, but we built it was like 4 feet wide, and we really did all the things with it and composited it into space.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Definitely watch the behind the scenes. And if you, because I know a lot of people don't have Blu-ray players anymore. So if you don't, those two making of featurettes are also on the website. You can watch them there.
Yeah. Because that is for me, like the only issue with streaming. I really do enjoy the special features, and I love commentary tracks.
You don't always have special features.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, and that's to me like that's the big selling point today. Like if someone's gonna go out of their way to actually buy the physical release, if it's just a movie, like I mean, you literally can just stream it somewhere. For the most part.
And if anybody buys Alien Planet on Amazon, the Blu-ray, I have it selected so that it doesn't say it in the shopping cart, but you will also always get a copy of my other films on Blu-ray with it.
I like that. That's very nice.
And there may be coming soon, you may also get a second bonus disc of Alien Planet that shows footage in the film with the puppeteer not removed.
Oh, that's very fun.
So you can watch the whole movie and see a little behind the scenes happening, like crew members and stuff. So you can kind of get a visual of what we did for some of the shots.
All right, I like this. Killian says, I know you probably won't see my messages, but recently found your channel.
We're seeing it, Killian.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days ago, but I went back and been watching your older videos. I guess this is for me, actually. I just want to say I love your videos. Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
The EEE. I really. Oh, when you say EEE, my tech brain makes me think like, do you love the FireWire port?
I wasn't sure what the yeah, I know, yeah, I wasn't sure what, but I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tilden.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're here live. I believe this is your first live one, Killian. So thank you. Well, this was really fun. It's cool to meet you. All your movies I've seen so far, I really like. I love Godzilla, obviously, but on Shudder, people should go watch Monster
Monster.
Island. It's super fun.
Yes,
That one is a real standout for me because I like monster movies, and it was like really what you want from a monster movie.
it
Because you
is.
saw the monster, and yeah,
Absolutely.
and both the people are really good in it too. It
Yep.
wasn't just the monster. They're
And
great in it, honestly. So
it's also just like the movie Hell in the Pacific, which is a film during World War II where it's a Japanese soldier and American soldier stranded on an island together. This is almost the exact same thing, except there's a monster.
yeah, and it's I didn't even I looked it up because when they were in the movie, it talked about at the beginning about these ships,
The
and they were
hell.
I forget the hell ships, and I was like, this sounds like it must be a real thing, and I didn't know it was, so I looked it up, and so I even learned from the movie, which
Yeah,
is
yeah. It was very well written. Yeah, Mike did a great job writing it. So
mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
I like that.
definitely.
I like them a lot.
I hope some behind the scenes from that come out at some point. That would be fun.
Yeah, yeah, because as far as I know, I don't think there's a physical release yet.
There was in Germany.
Oh, okay.
So the international name, if you're in, I believe, Thailand, Germany, and maybe another country, it's called Orang Ikan, which is the name of the monster, and it is which is Fishman.
Yeah.
So you could, I think, if you want, you could look for like imports of Orang Ikan on Blu-ray.
Okay.
I'm sure it's region locked, but you could get it if you want.
Yeah. No. It was a typo, Killing. All right, no problem. Well, thank you, Killing. Yeah.
Sorry to ask you about that.
We're trying to figure out what it meant. Anyway, thank you, Killing. All right. All right. Well, we'll have you back sometime. Anytime something cool is coming out, let us know.
Absolutely, yeah, it would be fun. And let us know when you are shooting your Indiegogo. We want to
All
all.
right. I will. I will. I will hold you to that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're
All
very
right.
welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. I'm just going to wave awkwardly while I hit end.